So today's class, we're going to be working on balance, but before we get into the balance, we're going to be doing work with the shoulders, and we're going to need one block and a strap. So if you don't have a strap, use like a house coat or a robe, tie, or a dog leash or something like that. And we are starting standing, so come up onto your feet. And let's spread those toes nice and wide. Perhaps come up on the pinky or on the tippy toes and come down. We'll just go up on the tippy toes again. And when I come up, just notice what your feet want to do. Do they want to come out to the sides? Are they coming in? And I'm just trying to lift and have all of my weight onto the metatarsals of my foot. So a little padding underneath your toes. And come down. And we're just going to do a little wiggle and a little waking up of the body. So like every Monday morning, we usually begin with a bit of movement. So I'm just swinging my arms from side to side. Just waking up. Any kind of movement that you feel like you want to do here. I'm just going to shake my hands up in the sky, and then bring them down. Have another person coming in here. Good morning. So what you need for today's class is a strap, or get a bathrobe tie, or whatever it is that you have, dog leash, whatever. And we're going to need a block, or just grab a book. We're just going to be standing on it. So you just want something that's, you know, a ways off the floor, and something that your foot could fit on lengthwise. So I'm just going to get a little hop. So I'm just going to get little hops where my feet are coming off the floor. So we're just waking the body up to begin. And for those who just came in, we're going to be doing, so now I'm going to do a little shake from side to side. So a little twist from side to side. We're doing balance today. And so we're going to be working the lateral hip muscles, and but to begin, we're going to be doing some shoulder stuff. So now bring that jump or hop or whatever you're doing down a little slower. So now I'm not going to let the feet come off the floor. I'm just going to give my body a little bounce. It's nice and easy. See how that feels? Just a little bounce. A little hip shake again. And let's just come to the breath now. So let's find our beautiful standing posture. So again, just notice how you stand. So just kind of stand, come to how you normally feel comfortable in a standing position. And just notice how that feels and what it's like. And now spread those toes really wide, as though you have like big elf feet, okay? So wide toes. Close your eyes and get a sense of where your weight hangs out in your feet. So I'm just gently swaying from side to side, forward and backward, just feeling how the weight changes in the feet. And now I want to really get a sense of the weight of my belly and pelvis, and I want to bring that weight more over my heels, okay? And now we're going to roll our shoulders up, squeeze the shoulder blades together, gentle squeeze, and let the shoulders come down to your sides, and bring the palms out so that they're facing forward. And now taking a breath in to extend the body up. So we're not trying to straighten out where we arch our chest, taking a breath like, we want to really straighten up from the back body. So feeling the back spine elongate, and what helps with this is tucking the chin, feeling the neck nice and long. So you're balancing your weight on all of your feet, but the weight of your pelvis is a little back over the heels. And we're just going to come to the breath. We're releasing all the tension in our bodies. So especially around our bellies here, because no matter what we do, a lot of times when we're focusing, we hold somewhere. We just tend to hold in a lot of times around the belly, especially for women. So just coming to your breath, noticing your feet touching the floor. And maybe even doing a little bit of an external rotation with your feet. So your feet, well, not with your feet, it's actually with your legs in the hip sockets. So it's almost this feeling like you're gonna spread the feet out to the sides without pressing them out. And you'll feel like the legs are kind of opening, externally rotating a little bit. And especially good for if you tend to have not like knees that come in. So just opening up through. So it's just a little rotation of the femur bone in the hip socket. Arms down by your sides. Just noticing how it feels, whether it feels a little different or perhaps the same. Just letting the breath relax you. And we'll take a few big breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Notice your belly and let your belly expand on the inhale. And then exhale. And then your next breath, let the ribs, feel the ribs expand all around 360. They just, big breath in, feeling the ribs kind of move a little and come back in. And maybe a couple more breaths like that. Just go with an easy breath, your own breath. And now open your eyes. And we'll just begin with looking over the right shoulder, looking over the left. Just getting a little bit of movement in the cervical spine, so in the neck. Simple, looking side to side. Bringing your head neutral, take a breath in. Exhale, left ear down to left shoulder, extend the right arm. Take a breath. Exhale, come up, right ear to right arm, just gentle. We're not trying to really push the neck. Like I can really try to get a deeper stretch by really pushing the ear, but this is just very gentle. I'm just letting the ear come towards the shoulder. And then letting the left arm extend, palm facing up. Just really gentle. We don't want to be pulling anything. And now we're just going to bring our arms up to our sides. So inhale up. Maybe a reach when you get just one reach. The right arm, reach the left. Right, left, and come down. Bringing the arms behind you, clasp your hands, bring the hands towards the floor, and perhaps lift the arms away from the bum. Exhale, release. Inhale, bring the arms up again. Reach left and right, left and right. And exhale down. Other pinky on the bottom, clasp the hands together. Arms down or hands pointed towards the floor, and then if it's available to you, you can reach the hands away from the bum. Take a breath. Gentle breaths here, okay? And exhale, release. Again, arms up, inhale. Exhale, come down with cactus arms. Okay, so the arms are about at a 90-degree angle and about the height of your shoulders, okay? Without the shoulders coming up to the ears, drop the shoulders back and down. So now we're just coming up, straighten the arms. It's going to be a little hard to straighten them. Keep the elbows pointed and come down all the way. Come down, 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 down. And then come all the way up, 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 up. And as you come up, because the shoulder blades are still like flat against your body, you're going to find it probably a little hard to get all the way up. And that's what you should be feeling, a bit of resistance here. And then come all the way down. So I'm coming down, bringing the elbows close to my sides. And then come come all the way up again. So even doing a little bit of work looks like a simple movement if you were to just watch, but we know that it's not if you're doing it. So coming down again, and we'll just slow. I'm moving very slow, and I'm coming all the way down again to my sides, and then coming up again so that the arm is level with the shoulders. And we're going to move one arm down, so it's not going to come all the way perhaps. And as we bring that one up, we're going to bring the other arm down and trying to keep the arms kind of level here. So just coming back and forth. And sometimes if you're next to a wall, it kind of helps sometimes to do it next to the wall, because then you have your elbows against the wall, and it's actually easier to articulate the movement. So if you're near a wall, you can try it near a wall. Whew. So we'll just do one more on each side. Staying with the breath, trying not to tense anywhere. Okay, last one. You can release and relax the arms. Whew. Take a breath in. Breath out through the mouth. Another one in. Exhale, release. We're going to open the arms wide now. So big inhale, open the arms wide. And then exhale, cross the arms at the elbows. So just like we're going into eagle pose. But we've done this before. We're going to bring the forearms together. You're feeling like because your shoulder blades are flat on your back or a little bit wider. Shoulder blades are probably protracting a little bit. You want to bring the forearms together without actually collapsing and bringing them together. So you're keeping that action going on in the back of your shoulders. You should feel it. So I'm basically just going to open the arms, and you should feel the back of the shoulders relax. And then as I'm closing the backs of the arms together, really feeling that stretch, perhaps more in the shoulder that you have that's of the top arm. You may feel it more in that shoulder. So again, just a little peekaboo, peek. And then arms together. Take a breath. If you can even lift the fingers gently up towards the ceiling. Take a breath and come down. Shake that out, and we're going to go to the other side. So bring inhale, wide arms, exhale the other arm on the bottom this time, bending at the elbows, and again shoulder blades are feeling nice and wide on the back, and we're bringing the forearms together and apart. Move with your breath and check back in with your stance. So did your weight start to drift forward as you're standing here? Bring the weight back, or perhaps you may notice that one hip is out to the side, so bring that in. And we're just opening and closing the arms. And when you get them closed, bring the fingers up towards the ceiling without the shoulders coming up towards the ears. So just a small movement. Take a breath. And exhale. Whew, release that. Grab your strap. So like I said, we're just doing a bit of work in the shoulders, and then we're going to get into some balance work. So taking the strap nice and wide, coming back to your standing posture. Big breath in. So I have it really wide as what's comfortable for you. And I'm just going to bring the strap above my head. And if it's available to you, you can bring it all the way around. So moving with the breath, and take an inhale, arms going up. Exhale, arms going down. So when we come up with the strap, we want to make sure that we don't bring the chest for a ride with you. I'm just leaving everything nice and still, and it's just the arms moving in the shoulder socket. Now even try a little closer. So just bringing it up, and now this time I can't get it behind, but I'm just gonna reach behind as far as I can and come down. Breath in, exhale, come up. Breath in, exhale, come down. Perhaps a little closer together. We'll just give it a try. Up. Maybe staying here. And exhale down. So probably keeping it where you are. You can try coming into shoulder width distance. I'm going to keep it a little open. I'm going to come up again. And this time I'm going to do little circles. And you probably can't see as well, but I'm doing little tiny circles. My fists are pointed up towards the ceiling. And I'm doing little circles one way. Trying not to arch again, right? Don't go bringing the chest with you. Don't be arching in your lower back. You may want to open the arms a little wider to do this. And then I'm going to go in the opposite direction. So it's just like I'm drawing circles on the ceiling. I'm getting some nice mobility in the shoulder sockets. And then we'll come down. Give it a relax, take a breath. Roll the shoulders up and back. And one more time, holding the strap, probably a little wider, bringing the strap up. And now we're just going to do a side stretch. So again, sometimes it's nice to be by the wall because we want to be like we're in between two panes of glass. So I'm just pulling gently down in this arm, coming to a side stretch, not coming all the way, being very gentle and really feeling that stretch between the bottom of the ribs and the top of the hips. So you're really trying to get in here. So focus there, take a breath. Exhale, come up, take another breath. And exhale down. And you're kind of pulling, you're still kind of pulling the strap. You're pulling with both arms, but you're not overdoing it. So while I'm making this stretch to the right, I have a tendency to come over and bring all my weight over to the right, but I'm really pushing the weight back down evenly with 2 feet. Inhale, exhale, come up, come down. And one last thing for our shoulders, we're gonna take this strap and we're gonna bring it behind us. And we're just going to, we've done this before. So I'm holding the strap behind here, and then I'm just going to so I'm just wrapping the strap around my arms like this. So it's just kind of pulling my shoulders back. And I'm just gonna stay here for a few breaths. So my shoulder blades are being kind of pulled together. And if you're not getting much of a chest stretch here or not feeling much at all, you can bring your hands a little closer together. I'm just going to stand here, a few breaths, relax the face, relax the belly, relax the legs, check in with your knees, make sure you're not hyperextending the knees. And release. Okay. So we're going to get into our balancing poses. So if you need a wall, get it. Because yes, it's balancing, but there's some things that we're going to be doing that you may want a little support by having a wall close. So we're just going to get into this pelvic lift. So talk about the pelvic lift. So our hip, if you want to like poke it out, you can poke it out and then just bring it back in. Okay, so we know what it's like if you're carrying children and stuff to have the hip out. Really going to be working on this musculature around the hip, really reminding our hip to stay in, okay? So foot is straight. If it's very uncomfortable for you to have the foot straight, just let the foot fall where it wants to go, naturally goes. Just watch that you don't have the foot like way out to the side. So that's all we're doing right now is I'm pushing into this foot and allowing this foot to just raise off the floor. And of course the pelvis is going to not be level across. So your hip bones, good. Press down and lift up and hold. So I'm taking the foot right off the floor. You can have the toe down. And I don't want to lock out the knee, okay? So come down, come up again. I'm just looking down at my notes, sorry. And come down. We'll do it one more time on this side. So you're coming up. And coming down, and we're going to do it on the other side. So already you're probably feeling that work, that musculature working around the hip. So putting our weight now onto the right side, pushing down, spread the toes nice and wide. Okay, nice, spread toes, wide foot, and now just holding in that hip. So really pushing in the hip, and that's making the other hip come up and foot off the floor. Okay, so really pushing in and hold. Don't lock out the knee. And then come down, and then hold it in again. Hold, hold, hold. So working on this musculature, and then getting a sense of how it feels when it's activated. So again, and you might notice a difference. So I'm just holding in this hip, pushing it in. And then releasing. Okay, so shake that out. You can probably feel now that there's some action going on, something's been happening in the hip. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a little tiny mini squat. So basically all I'm doing is I kind of want the knee to stay over the ankle as much as possible. So it's just a little tiny squat. So see, I just kind of push the bum back a little. Back is still straight, ribs are in, I'm not arching the back, okay? So again, we're just pushing back, we're in this little tiny squat. And now what I want you to do is put your weight now onto the left foot, and then take the right foot up. So you're keeping that hip in, just like we worked on. So a little squat, hold it in, and now I want you to take your right leg, and I want you to put the toe, point the toe forward, and then I want you to move that foot out to the side and forward, out to the side and forward. So I just came a little, so you're back in a little squat, weight into the left, that hip is in, you're pointing and you're coming out to the side. You could have your arms out here as well. And you really want, so if you find that you're coming forward, you want to push the bum back, okay? And so you're just, and your toe can be on the floor, and come to the side, forward, and to the side. And so while you're doing that, you're really focusing on keeping this knee over the ankle. It may come forward a little bit, but just be mindful of that. So do one more of those, and then we'll come and stand up, give a little shake, and then you're going to move to the other side. So I was doing this side, so I'll do this side. So again, a little tiny squat. So my feet are hip width distance apart. I'm gonna push the bum back, a little squat. So my knees are still over my ankles. I'm gonna put the weight into my right foot now, and I'm really holding that in. And then poke the toe forward. And then, so my knees start to come forward. So I know I have to push my bum back. And this is where I'm saying, hold onto a wall, because you want, the work is in this standing hip. And then point the toe and come around to the side. Point the toe. I find it hard to do this, and tuck and point the toe and come around. So bum back. And you can even swipe the foot on the floor, okay? Hip back. And then come back. It's hard to demonstrate. And give that a little shake. So really probably feeling this now. Let me see what I had planned here. Okay, so we're going to do that again, and this time, so we'll start with the left foot again, right? The left foot. So start with the first foot that you started the sequence with. So we're going back to that leg. And again, we're going to do that little little bend, so a little squat, mini squat, and I'm just sinking my bum back, knees, putting the weight into my right. And now what I want you to do is bring the knee up, then bring it back, okay? So we're just bringing the knee up. So we still have this little squat and bringing the leg back. Bringing the knee up and bringing the leg back. And I'm losing my balance. So you can hold on to the wall, like I said, a little tiny squat, bringing, the knee up and bringing the knee back. Bringing the knee up. Whew. And remember, sit back. Okay, I'm gonna come up and give it a shake, and we'll move to the other side. So hold on to a wall, doing a little squat, making sure I'm not arching like this so my ribs are up, keeping the ribs in, push back, get situated, keep the hip in, and then leg up, and leg back, and leg up, and back, and up, and back, and up, and down. Okay, so shake that out. On the hips. And we're gonna do it one more time. So this time, put the weight onto your left hand. So really suck that hip in, okay? We're going back again to this little squat. And this time I'm gonna reach the leg as far back as I can. So I'm gonna poke the toe out and then bring it around all the way in the back, okay? So I'm gonna have to hold on to a wall here. And I'm trying to watch myself because it's so easy you kind of really need to focus on it. So little squat, holding onto the wall. I'm going to keep this hip in, and then I'm going to bring the toe forward, and then I'm going to bring it all the way back. So this knee over the ankle, okay? So I'm bringing it forward and bringing it all the way around. And this hip is getting tired already, so really use the wall. I think I almost need to use the wall here. And I'm just bringing the leg all the way around and toe forward, whew, and back and forward, whew, and up. So I don't know about you, but that is a lot of work on that standing leg. And I do understand that it's a little, so like if you're not really getting this whole squat thing, honestly, it doesn't matter how far you come down. So you can even try it if you're getting a little tired, moving to the right side now. So I'm doing a little tiny bend. If you don't even want to do that bend a little bit, you just want a little micro bend, try that. Or actually just keeping your hip in, you kind of got to put the bum back a little bit just in order to do this, because it'd be really hard to just be standing like this, right? So that's why the little bend. So it don't have to be a huge bend. Point the toe, and we're gonna come all the way back. Whew. And all the way forward. All the way back. All the way forward. My hip really wants to jut out on the right. And I'm really working hard to keep it in. Whew. And one more. I have to adjust. You may have to adjust too. And come up. Whew. Okay. So mind you, you may feel this a little bit on your lower back. And if you do, you may have to just maybe tuck your pelvis under a little bit. And that's only for people whose back is bothered by that. And you don't have to do the bend. I'll go into some other stuff as well for the hip now. So what we will do, we're just going to come into a standing figure 4 now, okay? So basically get something to hold. I'm missing my chair right now. So I'm just going to externally, so stand in your standing position, externally rotate on your toe here. You're externally rotating into that hip joint. And then you take that ankle and you're going to place it up on your thigh. And then you're going to do this little same kind of squat as we just did, okay? So I'm gonna do it against the wall. So I want to keep the left hip in. I'm gonna rotate the right leg, so it's external rotation. Place the knee or the foot, maybe without your hands, maybe using your hands on top of your thigh. And now I'm just going to press the bum back. Okay, so then I'm coming into this figure four. You can also do this sitting on a chair. You can also do this laying down. So I'm just pushing back, really keeping that hip in. So even though this is a nice stretch, you're doing a lot of work on that standing here. Oh, and I'm pushing the leg away, but only if that's comfortable for you. That might be enough of a stretch, just like that, okay? So moving on to the other side, coming into a figure four. So I'm standing nice and straight up against the wall. I'm going to externally rotate a couple times, getting that movement in the hip, external rotation, taking that leg, seeing if I can bring it up, or that foot, and bring it up on my thigh. And when you do that, you might notice that your hip is going to want to go to the side. This is the work. Keep the hip in, and now we're going to push the bum back, okay? Push the bum back, and you're into this figure four. The hip wants to come out. I'm feeling that. I'm going to pull it back in, okay? And now I'm standing and I'm not using anything, which I should, but I'm also getting a lot of strength and mobility, or strength in the ankle, the standing ankle, because you can see how I'm wobbling. That's really good. The muscles are working to try to keep me standing upright. Okay, so nice stretch here. You can bend a little bit back or push your bum back a little bit more. And then exhale, come up. Maybe you can feel that even more in the hips now. So shake that out. So get your block or your book right now. And we're going to come to stand on the block. Again, you may want to have your wall close by. And I'm going to start with standing on the block with my right foot. Make sure that your heel is on. It doesn't matter if some of your toes come off the block. And again, come to that nice standing position. You want to have a little bit more weight over your heel here. And we're basically just doing the same thing. So as we started, so we're standing on the block and we're just going to do that pelvic lift. So standing on the block, it might feel like it wants to come out to the side, pull it in. Hold it. And do not lock out the knee to hold it, okay? Still a little bend in the knee. And hold, and come down, bring it in again, hold. So this foot is coming off the floor. And release. And come up again. Now this time, hold in that hip. This one comes up. You notice that my hip bones are not anymore level. And I'm just going to bring this leg up and bring it behind. So hip wants to come out, bring the leg up, bring it behind. You don't have to do this. You can just remain standing here if you want, because it's enough work without moving this leg. And I'm bringing it up. And bringing it down. And release. So balancing work, meaning for us today, working on this lateral hip musculature, okay? Really important for balancing. Hanging out in the hips all the time like we do, standing like this, holding a baby. You guys can go ahead and start on the coming up on the left side. But a lot of times I'm doing the same thing, holding in, just holding, don't lock out the knee. After years and years and years of habitually standing, walking exactly the same way, and especially when we're not, when we're really hanging out in the hips all the time, after a while, it just causes a lot of wear and tear, and you just end up losing this, the strength around your hips. So I'm just letting that out. And now I'm bringing it in. So I'm always trying to remind myself, and I still obviously catch myself standing with the hip out or standing in more like unhealthy ways, I would say. So I'm always practicing that, like it's always in my mind. So we're standing here. It's always in my mind to be more aware of how I stand on a regular basis, okay? Washing dishes, doing various things. We tend to like hang out like this on the counter when we're chopping vegetables, blah, blah, blah. So just a reminder in everyday life, just push the bum back, okay? Okay, so we're going to stand on this block again. So we'll start with the left foot, start with the first one you started on, I can't even remember now. So I'm just gonna stand here and we're gonna try this again. So now I'm keeping the hip in and I'm gonna put a little bit of bend like we did when we were standing, but I feel like I don't have to do as much of a squat because I'm lifted, elevated up a little bit more. So it might be actually easier for you to do this motion now that you're standing on the block, I'm not sure. So we're standing on the block, hips back, trying to keep the knee over the ankle, the knee over the ankle. And I'm going to hold on to something here. So really pushing that hip in. I'm doing a little tiny bit of bend so I can poke out the toe here. And again, I'm going to go to the side and forward, to the side and forward. And just notice, like I'm just noticing things that my body wants to do. It wants to kind of come out to the side here. I'm keeping the hip in, but my knee, my whole leg, weight wants to come out to the side. Keep it in. So it's just noticing those different things. And you will know right away, because I'm really feeling in this hip. So you go at your own pace and take a break whenever you need it, okay? So I'm just coming forward and out to the side and forward and out to the side, forward and out to the side. Oh, yeah, come off as a block and then give your hips a little shake. So hopefully you're feeling this around the hips. A lot of great work. And I'm going to come to the other side now. So coming to this side and we'll just hold the hip in and let it out. Just getting a sense of that. Holding the hip in, don't lock out the knee. And I'm just going to, maybe if you put your leg forward first, you'll probably get an indication how much you have to push your bum back. I'm not sure. So I'm just pushing the bum back, flexing my toe, and then coming to the side and over. So my hip is already trying to come out. It's really tired. So I'm keeping it in, pushing back a little, toe out and around. I'm getting really tired. I don't know about you guys. Whew. And around. So it may not be super fluid. I know that I'm kind of shaky here. My body is kind of fighting me on this. Whew. Side and forward. Side and forward. Whew. You're probably really feeling it in the ankles too, which is really great. So we're just going to shake that out. And this time I want you to come up onto your block. But this time we're just going to do more movement by swinging the leg and practicing our balance this way. Now our hips have got lots of work, so we're going to ask them to engage again. Come up onto the block with your left foot. So pushing out of the block. Like I said, make sure your heel is on your block or your book. So pushing the heel in, or the hip in, and just even want to put your hand there to remind it, because you might start to feel it come out. So just as a little reminder, keep your hand on your hip. And this time we're just going to swing the leg. So if you want, you can hold onto a wall. And by just doing this movement, it's a beautiful psoas release. It's really letting the psoas muscle relax. I do this every single day of my life for my lower back pain, okay? So I feel like I have some really tight psoas muscles, as do most of us. So just doing this every single day may make a huge difference for you. So as you can feel, yeah, we're getting some relaxation in the psoas of the right leg swinging, but we're also getting this stability in the ankle, because you'll feel the ankle working lots and the hip working lots, just to keep the hip in, okay? So we're just swinging, and when we swing, I'm gonna move over into the opposite leg now, so can you if you want. And when you swing, you want, so I'm pushing into the right leg, and I want this left leg to really feel heavy, okay? It's just gonna wanna, like it's falling out of the socket, like just super heavy. You might even feel some release in the low back when you're doing this. And when you swing, I don't want, the back you don't wanna be moving like this, so where your back is moving, you really just want the leg, just like a pendulum, to be swinging in that socket with all the weight. And yeah, you don't want to be moving like this, and you also don't want to be swinging the knee. So leg straight, and just let it swing gently. So yeah, every day I recommend this. Just having a book or a block out around the house, or a stool in the kitchen, and then every now and then just coming on here and giving the psoas some love, and also great for the hip. Okay, I'm gonna come off. See how that feels. I love that feeling in the hips. So yeah, and now this time, again, we're coming onto the block, onto our left foot, so coming back to the opposite side. And now this time, woo, so pulling the hip in, and this time I'm really going to swing the leg in every direction now. So this is just really focus on keeping our balance here, but you're really trying to get yourself off balance, okay? So you're just swinging, you're trying to get yourself to fall, okay? So that's what you're trying to do here. So you're just swinging, and then to add to it, and you're really trying, this hip is going to want to come out, it's tired now, so keep it in. You can try looking, so looking over your right shoulder and then looking over your left, and you want to fall off, okay? And then if you want, you can try to look up while you're doing this and look down to the floor, be careful. And another thing you can try is to do it with your eyes closed. And that's a bit tougher again, but great work for balance, okay? Woo. And we'll get up and we'll do the other side. So it kind of looks like an easy class from the outside looking in if you weren't to do this and just watch. But as you know, it's great work for this. Okay, so now I'm just swinging the leg all different directions. Check in with this hip. So you may want to look to the right, look to the left. Woo! Look up, look down, close your eyes. See what it takes to get you off balance. Try to move the arms, swinging the arms around too, perhaps. So just having a little bit of fun with that. Okay, we'll do one last thing on standing on the block. So again, come to your left foot. And what we're gonna do, and again, have a wall or something close by. Pouring in the hip again, remind it to stay in. And we're gonna try to just like push back into like a warrior three-ish. Don't have to go back into total warrior three, but we will. So you're just keeping the hip in, and then just pushing the bum back, just like we did when we were doing these things. We're just pushing the bum back, and you can actually start by bending the knee up and then bending the knee behind you, and see if you can tilt into this warrior three. And please don't try to come directly parallel with the floor. Don't have to do that. So I'm pushing, bringing the knee up, bringing the knee back, and then kind of straightening out through that leg. Ooh, and this is just something really fun to play with. It's not, and trying to just come into that warrior three. Like that. I'm gonna try and do it on my other leg now. So just come to your right foot, putting all my weight down, pressing this hip in, don't want to extend the knee, okay? Knee, and now I'm gonna bring this knee up. As I'm bringing this knee up, you notice how I'm pushing the bum back, bring the knee up, bring the knee behind, and then see if I can straighten out that leg, push the heel behind me, and come into warrior three. If you guys want to try this without being on the block, of course that's okay too. So you can play around with that, see how that feels. And then we can come down and off the block, move the block to the side, just coming back to stance with your feet, pelvis width distance apart. Spread the toes, standing nice and tall. So standing tall, not like this, standing tall, extending the back, tuck the chin. Notice how you feel. Notice how the hip feels. Notice if your heart is beating a little faster, time to bring it all back and bring it all down. Big breath in, some big breaths out. Big breath in. Let the belly relax. And the next time you're out for a walk, one thing that'll change so many things for you, I believe, or it did for me anyway, is let's release this tension that we hold in our abdomen. And you'll probably notice that when you are going for a walk that you're actually holding something there. Like, there's very few people that I walk with and I'll tell them, oh, relax your belly. And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, relax your belly, see how it feels. And I'm like, whoa. You'll feel probably a lot of release around the lower back. And so remember that when you're walking, to walk with ease and let your body and the muscles respond to the movement of walking. And one thing that we don't have to do when we're walking is tense and hold in our bellies, okay? I'm even practicing this with trail running now. As soon as I start to feel clench, I slow my running down because there's a reason, right? My body is not comfortable. It's tensing up, it's telling me something. So I'm like, no, I gotta slow down. So anyway, just a little side note there. So we are gonna come down to the mats and onto our bums. So however that's comfortable for you to get down. And then we're gonna come all the way down. Actually, I feel like now that I'm down here to do a little bit on the hands and knees and just a little bit of spinal movement, and then we'll just come down to our backs. So come onto the hands and knees if you feel like I do. If not, and if you're already on your back and you want to do just a few movements, because we're getting ready to go into Shavasana. So I'm just on my hands and knees, and I just feel right now like I want to just move my hips from side to side. If there's any movement that you feel like doing right now, go ahead and do that, okay? So I'm just tucking my toes. I'm gonna just reach my hands forward, reach, reach, reach. I'm not coming into a child's pose. I got my toes tucked. I'm just really reaching the arms forward, looking between my legs. Notice what happens to the feet. My ankles want to come out to the sides. Keep them straight underneath you. Big breath in. And then I'm just bringing myself a little forward. I'm dropping the pelvis a little bit, strong shoulders, and I'm coming back again. I'm gonna move my hands a little bit over to the right, come up on my fingertips. Take a breath in, breath out, come forward, stretch. And I'm moving my arms to the other side. Inhale in. Exhale forward, and then come up, and we'll come right over onto our bottoms. So you can have something under your head here, a little pillow if you want. We're just gonna come and lay down. And we're just gonna do another figure four laying down, okay? So again, there's like an external rotation. So I like to bring my leg up first. Two knees are bent to begin with. Bring the left leg up, and I'm just going to do this external rotation in the leg. So just externally rotate. Do that a couple times. And then I'm going to drop my ankle down. So your whole back, you guys know this, touching a little arch under your lower back. I'm going to bring this bottom foot up on the toe, see how that feels. If your back is arching or flattening to the floor, you've gone too far, come back down. So I'm just going to bring the knee now in towards my body, just as far as my lower back. Don't start to flatten. So my back wants to flatten. If I bring it any further, my back starts to flatten. So I'm going back, respecting that boundary there. You may feel like pushing this knee away from you for a little extra stretch there. And then we're going to release. Bring the other leg up, external rotation, a couple times. And then the next time I got it externally rotated, bring the ankle down. And again, bring that knee up. You may want to just come on the toe. That might be enough, maybe enough to be flat. I'm way tighter on this side today. Oh, wow. Okay. And breathing here. Staying here for as long as you want. What happens sometimes is the knee that's bent on top, a lot of times we start to fall over that way. So just push the knee back or the other leg back. You'll notice the difference right away. And if you want, you can push this knee out with your hand gently. And take some breaths there. Try to relax. And you can release that. Get ready for your Shavasana now. So get ready to just relax. Any last movement you want, take it now. Get everything you need. Another great thing for your psoas is just staying like this for about 10 or 15 minutes. So it's called constructive rest pose. So you got the knees bent. Try to relax as much as you can. And if you could even do this for 10 or 15 minutes a day, it does wonders for your tight psoas as well, which can also help relieve in lower back pain and even more. So just relaxing, becoming conscious of the breath, and become conscious of how your body feels on the floor. Make sure you're nice and comfortable. Breath in, and with every exhale, you're just trying to release a little more. So just giving this time to appreciate your body, appreciate yourself for coming to class this morning. A little bit of rest, perhaps clarity, calmness of the mind to start your day and your week. So just trying to center yourself, whatever that means to you. Try to bring yourself into this very moment. How the back body, the back of your body feels against your mat. How the air feels around you. How the breath feels coming in and out of the body. And what the belly does with every breath. Release the tongue from the roof of the mouth. Create a little space and back teeth. Relax your whole face. Space between your eyes, your forehead, your ears, your jaw, your cheeks. And the back of your neck, your chest. You can have hands on your belly, hands out to the side, hands on your heart. Just noticing how it feels to be still. Notice how it feels to take time to rest, and perhaps just got out of bed not too long ago. So just being aware of the present moment, aware of yourself in this moment. Maybe making an intention for your day. And an intention to have more patience, or to be outside more. Something that you know is going to make your day a little brighter. I'm going to leave you guys here now. So you can remain for as long as you want. Put a gentle smile on your face. And then sending you lots of love today, Monday. I really hope you guys have a fabulous day and a wonderful week. So again, stay for as long